Hello, Roadrunners, and welcome back to day 3. I had to think about what day it was for just a second. Day 3 of our countdown of 13 days of Halloween. Today is going to be quite a shift because we're going to be talking about a couple different topics, but the overwhelming theme is going to be about how to easily and quickly do a Halloween look that is perfect for masks. And we're going to be talking about a couple of different tips and tricks. And hopefully I will answer some of the questions that you might have regarding makeup, okay? But first we're gonna start off with one of the masters of horror. And you're probably going to go, Miss Butler, that is totally not true. And what are you talking about? This lovely lady here happens to be one of the masters of horror. Her name is Mary Shelly, and she is the author of Frankenstein. I know. You're probably thinking that is a lie, but I swear to you, it is the truth. She is the author of Frankenstein, and the story of Frankenstein came together in quite a weird way, actually. So let me tell you exactly what it says in this book. This book is called Masters of Horror by Daniel Cohen, and it is a book that you can check out. Here, it's in the nonfiction section, and it's in the 700s, 792, okay? All right, so here's what it says about Mary Shelley in here. In 1816, the real Mary Shelley, her husband, and some of their friends were spending the summer in Switzerland. One rainy evening, they decided to sit around and tell ghost stories. I love that. I'm already wanting to be part of this group. Mary's contribution was a story about a scientist who had made an artificial man out of the parts of dead bodies. Later that year, she expanded the story into what we know today as Frankenstein. So you never know who is going to be a huge influence on any sort of topic, and they might not look like the person you might see in your head. So again, Mary Shelley, the author of Frankenstein. So that is our Master of Horror today. Again, Master of Horror by Daniel Cohen. It is located here in the 700, 782 in the nonfiction section. Cool. Let's move on a little bit. Today's topic, and I'm sorry, my hair is all sorts of ways, and I'm trying to keep it out of my face because of what we're doing today. So today we are focusing on makeup. And another book that we have here in the library, it's actually a new book that we got last year. It's called Costumes and Makeup, and it says High School Musicals. But you can actually use any of the tips and tricks in here for your own application of makeup and not necessarily a musical or a play. We're gonna be looking in chapter 4. And it's getting the actor to look their best. So I'm going to be going over some of the tips that they talk in here and then explaining them a little bit more and also adding to some of the tips and tricks. So in anybody's makeup case, whether it be an actual makeup artist that might be helping you in a show or you just want to build up your own makeup kit, here's what your basics are that you're going to need. Cotton balls, tissue, a clean towel always, sponges, brushes, a mirror, cake makeup, cream makeup, grease paint, makeup pencils, mascara, eyeshadow, face powders, hair whiteners, makeup removers, and adhesives. I do not have my entire kit here today. We will be going through my entire kit. Today's Wednesday, and we have our Wednesday weekly challenge. But not today. We're not going to look at my entire kit. We'll be looking at my entire kit later on when I go into more in-depth makeup looks. But if you are not aware of what some things look like, you're going to probably go, Miss Butler, what are you using those brushes for? But this little brush is just a detail brush. I actually use it as a smudger, and we'll go all makeup tutorial on this. Remember, guys, my generation created YouTube and y'all have just followed, so you're welcome. So it's just a very thin, it's not thin actually, it's just a rounded, soft brush that's really good for blending. And then this is a detail brush, and it's actually just a paintbrush from Michael's, straight up. I think this was like 50 cents, and they're the best. And then this guy right here is actually a Ben Nye makeup brush, which you get in a general makeup kit for studying theater. And it's a lip brush, but I use it for other things other than lip, which you're gonna see here in a moment. A couple other things you're going to need. You're gonna need a black eyeliner. Do not buy a lip liner for what I'm going to be showing you today, because the lip liners are actually more creamy than your general black kohl pencils. You're also gonna need a black liquid liner. I like to buy just the e.l.f. ones. You can see that. I don't know why I'm doing this for this. It's just a liquid liner. These are really cheap. They're like $1 or $2, okay? By the way, disclaimer, I am not saying you need to go out and buy makeup. Please, please, please make sure you understand that. Do not think that I am telling you, as Miss Butler, your librarian, that you need to go buy makeup for Halloween. No, you do not. This is simply a tutorial on different things that you would have in your kit if you were to do makeup for the stage, or if you're wanting just makeup for yourself as well. But I am not telling you that you have to go and buy anything. Okay? Okay, cool. We got that. Capiche? Great. This right here is just your run-of-the-mill mascara. It's by ColourPop. I actually don't like this mascara, but here it is. I think this is probably like $3 or $4. I don't know. ColourPop is very affordable, but e.l.f. is probably the best way for you to go. And then this bad boy right here is what everybody, if you've ever watched a YouTube video since the dawn of time, 2008, every makeup artist on YouTube and who works professionally out in the field will tell you to get the NYX Jumbo Pencil in Milk. And that's what this is. So this is great to use just for highlighting or putting in the waterline. And we're gonna talk about that. I'm actually wearing it on my waterline today. And let's see, I talked about the chapstick, okay? Make sure you have it. And I do have my face powder, which again is e.l.f. And it's just a face powder compact. So this is a pressed powder, not a loose one. And I like to, this is fun. You're looking at my notes on my other screen. I like to use a mix of both, depending on what I'm doing. Always have a little sponge that actually goes in my compact. It's really gross and dirty. And then I have a lip liner that I might or might not use for this look. Okay, so this look today is going to be fairly simple. I'm going to put it up on our Instagram and on the website. That way you have two places that you can find it. It's very simple. It's going to sit just here in the crease of the eye and on the brow bone. So this is your eyebrow. And if you're touching your eyebrow, you can feel this bone that's right here. We're going to be putting it in this space where it gets to be a little bit more squishy. And that's called your crease. So we're going to be putting this design in the crease and then coming out. I already have eyeliner applied, and I do not have a color on my eyelids save for a vanilla, just a plain vanilla eyeshadow. And we're going to do the same thing on the other eye. And I'm going to show you just a very simple technique for doing this sort of line work. And I'm also going to do something different on the bottoms of my eyes. But I have to be very conscious about my eye shape because I have hooded eyes. So if you're looking directly at me and I'm looking at the camera, you can see that you can't see my lid space. And that is what a hooded eye is, meaning that you have to get your design and your color up a little farther than anybody else would if they had a very big lid space. So there's hooded eyes, there's a couple, you have your almond shape eye, etc. So make sure that you're looking at different charts to determine your eye shape, and then you're using tips and tricks on a makeup tutorial that will help you to do the design on your specific eye shape, because nobody is the same most of the time, right? Okay, so we're going to start off with our design, and the design is going to start off by using, we're going to start using the Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk. I'm going to get that ready, and I'm going to be using the lip brush. So remember, the lip brush is pretty rectangular and it's straight on the tip. I'm just going to pick up a little bit of this. Keep going. Now the bell is going to ring, and hopefully we'll just flow right on through. All right, so here we go. We get just a little bit on the tip of the brush. Make sure that you coat the brush on both sides. And make sure that you're ready to go using the flat part of the brush, meaning the tip of the brush, okay? What you're gonna do is you're gonna start from the inside corner of your eye. You're gonna see me lean forward, I'm sorry. I might have to use a smaller mirror for this too. Miss Butler's a little blind even with her contacts in, okay? So I'm gonna try and keep this a very straight line coming from the tear duct in the crease and then following just the natural crease of my eye shape. And what you're gonna wanna do is you are gonna have to close your eye just a little bit to make sure you can get the start of this line on. Now you can see that there's just a very faint line on there, so I need to load up my brush a little bit more. I might skip through some of this, so you probably will not hear me talk until I get this done. But I'm gonna stop once I get the line on, okay? All right, here we go. Okay, so now that we have the line drawn, I've stopped to where the line meets about the corner of my eyelid, my top eyelid. So you can see it just follows the natural shape of your crease, okay? So now what you're gonna wanna do is really load up your brush. Make sure you have a lot of the white on. And we're gonna make sort of like a little swirl on the top part. So just watch how I create this shape. You're gonna use the tip of the brush. You're gonna lay it on the side and swoop it. Lay it on its side just to deposit the color, and then turn it again using the tip. And you're gonna get sort of like a faint replica of the wing that I have on my eye right now. And you just want to build that up. And you want to take it from the bottom where your crease is and come up. Sorry about the bell. So now what you have is basically winged liner replicated from the eyeliner on my where you would normally place eyeliner. Sorry. Brain stopped working, and you're putting it in the crease. Okay, now what you're going to do is load it up again. And you guys can use any sort of cream product for the white that you might have. If you have an actual white grease paint, which is what is in all of these stores for Halloween, you can utilize that, or you can use, like I said, the cream eye pencil. I'm just going back over this just to define the white. If you have the jumbo eye pencil, then you can totally use that. If you have a more of a white concealer, you can utilize that. Okay, so I made my line actually a little bit thicker by my tear duct, and that's just because of my hooded eye shape. So when my eye is closed, you still see it. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do now. We're gonna become this artist of taking a shape and changing it into a different shape. So right now we have a triangle, at least a pointed shape of some sort, linked up to the line. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna take the brush, and coming up from the top of the tip, you're gonna create a little circle. It starts as a wave and then connects to that tip, so that you see sort of like a body forming. You see that? So you're taking that tip that was on the bottom, and the top is going to connect to it, making this little bubble. And you want to get that as close to the end of your brow. So you have a brow line, you have your pointed eyeliner, and then you have this bubble in the middle of it. Now, if you ever have a mistake, have a Q-tip handy, and then you can just go in and take it right off. If you want to put a little water on it or some eye makeup remover, you totally can, but it's not necessary. You can use just a completely dry Q-tip. Okay, now that we have that shape, this is the ghost's body and head. Now we're gonna make his little arms. So his arms are almost like horns, and you're gonna go at the center of that shape that you just made, and you're just gonna do little strokes connecting and then curve at the end. And you might not want to make them as long as I have them, but that's okay. All ghosts are different. So there's one little arm, and then the other arm might go into your eyeliner, and that's okay. Like I said, all ghosts are different. So you have one little arm and the other arm. My ghost has very long limbs. You can curve them. I've seen this done where the arms are up in the air, waving them around like they just don't care. I'm sorry, that was very 90s of me and I apologize. No, I don't. All right, so next what you're going to do, you're gonna take your powder. You can take a powder compact like I have, or you can take a loose powder. You can also take a white eyeshadow. It's completely up to you. I'm just gonna take a little bit on my sponge. And because this is a cream-based makeup, you do want to powder just a little bit. I'm just gonna take my powder and gently pat on top of that white. Gently pat on top of the white. Now you can see, I really needed to get in there a little bit quicker because you saw the white kind of transfer. That's okay. I can always go back and make my eyeliner darker. If you feel like it made your ghost too dull, go back in. Give him a little bit more white. You can always add more. Taking away is harder. All right, so go back in if you want. Fill him in a little bit more. Really define his little arms. Now, you're probably thinking, Miss Butler, this isn't scary enough for me. I'm not done. I am not done, my friends. All right, let's make his little face. This is very simple. It's 3 dots. And this is where your liquid liner comes in handy. Now, the liquid liner is what I'm choosing to do and not the kohl pencil because it can move that white and then you're gonna get a gray and it's not gonna be as defined. You want these 3 dots to be defined, okay? So we're gonna start with the eyes. We're gonna put one eye right here, one right here, and then his other one is gonna be his mouth right there. You can go back in. And if you don't have a steady hand and somebody else needs to do this for you, totally fine. But there's your little ghost. He's pretty cute. His little arm has kind of disappeared on his bottom, but that's okay. We will make it work. And I'm sorry that there's not any light ambiance today, but whenever you're doing a makeup tutorial, for those of you who love YouTube or love Instagram or any of that, lighting is so important. So there's your little ghost. He's done. That's all you need to do. If you do want to add glitter, which I'm a huge, huge fan for glitter, I endorse that completely. Rock on, do that. Do that for yourself. So this is a very easy little character that you can just put right on your face. And guess what? It's mask friendly because your mask sits right here, right? I'm just checking to make sure he's looking pretty good. He's looking pretty good. Okay, next little thing that we're going to do. I'm going to show you, I'm not going to use the liquid first, I'm going to use this. So if you want to get really, really creative with your eye look. Now, Miss Butler, when you get older, my dear friends, when you get older, you get bags and a few lines, and it's fine. It's just what happens. So you have to pay very close attention to what you're using for different makeup looks. So for this next look, what we're gonna do is we're gonna be creating a false eyeliner with little wispy eyelashes, okay? And we're gonna do that under the ghost. And then on the other side, I'm gonna show you how to do just a jack-o'-lantern face and make him look kind of evil. Okay, so on this side, what you're gonna do is you're gonna find the point where your eyeliner was. You're gonna start about halfway between your ghost and where you would put your eyeliner. You are going to draw this very faint, okay? And I'm using my kohl pencil. And you're going to draw a straight line and then start curving it, following the natural curve of your lower lash line, okay? And I'm sorry if my hand gets in the way, I apologize. And yes, you always make that face when you're doing eyes. Mascara, liner, doesn't matter. Now, because I've gotten this question in the past, why go in with such a light application? Because if you mess up, it's easier to get off. But why not just use your liquid liner? Because if you mess up, it's easier to get off this way than with a liquid. Okay, and if you like the shape that you've got going on, keep going. Now, once you get to your tear duct, you're going to make sort of a sharp turn, an edge, and then straight out. You see my line starts here. It's a little bit of a replication of my straight wing. Then you start curving, following the natural curve of your lower lash line. And once you get to the tear duct, flick it out. I'm going to define this with the liquid liner. Very carefully. Take your time. Don't rush yourself. I'm going to speed this up. Okay, now that we have the shape around the eye pretty much done, we're going to add 2 little strokes right there for eyelashes. And then I'm going to come with my fluffy brush and my eye pencil. And I'm just going to take the pencil and the brush and start moving my brush all over the pencil to get that color deposited on the bristles. Get in there. Because what we're gonna do once this is completely dry, so take your time, don't go right in there unless you know it is completely dry. And I know you're probably thinking, why do girls do this? Because we're drying our makeup. Okay, so once you know that it is completely dry and you can test, you're gonna go in and you're gonna start using your fingers in the right placement on your brush. You're gonna hold the brush really close to the bristles. And you're just going to start running that very close to the line you just created with your liquid liner. And just keep on shading. And always refer to your reference pictures if you have them. And keep blending and blending and blending and blending and blending. Okay? I'm gonna speed this up as well, okay? See you in a second. Okay, now that I've shaded, I might still go back in just a second, but now that I've shaded, I'm gonna go in with my milk pencil. I'm gonna gently pull and place some color on my inner lash line on the bottom. And sorry about that. I just placed a little bit, and I'm taking the brush that I used to create my ghost and spreading that color on and around my tear duct and bringing it up and out and down. So you can see that deposited. And then I'm going to take my ring finger and just pat that out on the inner corner of my eye, my tear duct. And then I'm just going to go in and make sure I'm happy with my little ghost. Do a little bit more of some touch-ups. Whatever you think he needs. If he needs more on his arms, or you think he just needs a little bit more of something. All right, there we go. So what this does, it creates this effect of your eye being more open, bigger, and doll-like. So if you are someone who looks forward to Halloween and you like the creepy doll movies, like Annabelle or Chucky or any of those, I do not endorse those. I'm simply using them as reference. But if you are into those kinds of characters, this technique is very important to make yourself look as otherworldly and more like an inanimate object. As you can see, it's drawing my eye focus out and up because it makes my eye look bigger than it already is. And of course you do the other side the same way. There it is, words. You do the other side the same way if this is the look that you're going for both sides. Now remember, I told you, I got you. If you're going, Miss Butler, this is not scary enough. No problem. If you're not into just doing like the doll effect and maybe some ghosts, I got you. What you're gonna do is you're gonna find a reference picture for a jack-o'-lantern. My eyeliner or my eye makeup, as far as doing a jack-o'-lantern, I would normally put orange eyeshadow on my eye, and I would do it with a lighter orange here and then orange up at the top. That's only if you're really wanting this to be glam and scary, but if you're just like down for the scary, you're gonna take your eyeliner, excuse me, I'm ahead of myself. You're gonna take your kohl liner, okay? You would normally want this to be as sharp as possible to go in and draw first, but you're simply gonna go wherever your brow bone starts at the edge here, not here, but the edge here. You're going to draw 2 triangles, make them small if you can. So you can see it's a little bit more difficult when your pencil is not sharp. You're gonna make 2 triangles for the eyes, an upside down triangle for the nose. I'm just gonna put a dot because I can go in and fix that. And then if you have an eyeliner like me, or you have eyeliner on like I do, it's already pointed out this way. What I'm going to do is I'm gonna go in and do his teeth with white, okay? All right, let's do these eyes and the nose. So just 2 triangles. If you're unsure about triangles, put them on paper first, and then you can apply it to your face. You can do this. Notice I'm using only whites and blacks for this. You can do it opposite. There are no rules in makeup, simply creativity. There are guidelines that people like to use, obviously, for whatever their project might be or their shoot might be. But it's all about your creative identity. But like I have said before, please make sure that you are making good choices when you do come to school on Halloween. Obviously not this year, because Halloween is on a Saturday, and that rocks. The only downside is trick-or-treating is not going to necessarily be that great. But if you can find ways to have fun with your friends and family, rock on. Okay, your little triangle for the nose, very important. Make sure that that is smaller than your eye triangles. There we go. All right, perfect. I'm going to define my lash line because I've had this on for a little while. My eyeliner here, just a little bit. Okay, this is where that small detail brush is going to come in. Using my reference picture, I'm going to go and do the teeth. So we're gonna go in here. I'm gonna make sure this is completely crisp. And I'm just taking a dampened paper towel to take the brush and just pulling it through that paper towel to make sure it is completely straight and coated with white. And now we're gonna go in. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do one tooth right here. I also highly recommend when you are filming, make sure your lighting is good. Make sure you have mirrors that you can use that help you to feel confident during your tutorial. So I'm doing 3 areas where he's gonna have his teeth. Okay, 3 areas. You're basically making little squares. And he's gonna look pretty scary just right here like this, but we're gonna amp that up a little bit more. How are we gonna do that, Miss Butler? Oh, I'll show you. Now remember, we talked about fake blood. I am not going to be doing that today, but I am going to be showing you a way to add a little bit of scary into your look. All right, so we have our little jack-o'-lantern. Cute, right? This guy. So you can use any color of red. Anytime you put red near your eye, you're going to look more tired and scarier, okay? So we're gonna go through. I'm going to put a little bit of red liner underneath this wing, almost creating a second wing on the bottom here, and go and follow the entire underneath. And then we're gonna come out to about the center of the eye, right here. And you're gonna wanna make sure that line is fairly smooth. Fairly smooth. Yes, there are liners out there that are liquid liners or pencil liners that are eyeliners, and you can use those if that's what you feel like using. But if you don't have any of those things, but you do have a lip liner, that will work just fine. Make sure that you clean it well before you use it again as a lip liner. And back and forth. I'm just taking some more of the white and I'm going into my tear duct here. And I'm just filling that in a little bit because that's what I had going on. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the red. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna create some dripping blood. So you're gonna take and you're just gonna wiggle. You don't want to do drips. And what do I mean by drips? You don't want to do an actual teardrop shape. You want it to be more like haphazard, but you do want there to be some sort of dripping from his mouth. And then you're also going to want to take that liner again, bring it more inside, check to make sure, and then just keep on going to your desired effect. If you only want a little bit, great. If you want to go crazy, rock on. And another way to make this stand out even more would be to have some purples or even that purple liner that I have. So do not go crazy with the purple. You don't want to go nuts, but you can just gently go in there. And this actually would be a great place to have some powders. If you want to use some blue tones, some purple tones, that sort of thing. Almost like he's got some issues going on in his bloodstream. And then you can also take some black and just redefine everything you've done. Make it a little darker in your waterline. And notice with that red on my lower eyelash line, it makes me look a little bit sicker, and it's made that eye smaller. So if I look directly into the camera, you can see this eye looks so much bigger than this eye. But there's your two looks. Very easy. It didn't take very long at all. Once I edit this down, it's probably going to be about 15 minutes. But it didn't take long at all. Okay. I'm going to show you just a little hack. This right here is a fishnet, but it's a fishnet hair wig cap. Excuse me, brain. It's a fishnet wig cap. You can use fishnets, actual fishnet stockings. And the reason why this is a hack is if you wanted to be a dragon or a mermaid, or you wanted to look like you had scales, you want to be a sea monster, that sort of thing, you would take this, and I'll do it for you really quick. Yes. You would take this right here, and do not have earrings on when you do this. You would take this right here, and then you would place it wherever you want to have the desired effect. Cool. You're going to want to place this down. Do not swipe. You're going to dab. And then once you have it all done, pull it away, and ta-da, you have scales. Okay, today is your Wednesday weekly challenge. Here's your challenge. I want you to find some concept, whether it be what I've done here. You can actually replicate the looks that I've done here, or you can completely go and create something new. And I want you to find only 4 products. That does not include brushes or any tools to apply, but only find 4 products that will help you achieve the look you have decided to do. Once you've done that, take pictures, and we will make sure that we can utilize the pictures for school purposes and check your, what's the word I'm looking for? Make sure that it is legal for us to do so here on campus. And yeah, I just want to see your creativity and what you guys can come up with. There are fun things that you can use and pick up at different places, but I want you to use 4 products. This is your challenge, only 4 products, and what you have at home. You can use less, you can use more, it's up to you. I just want to see what you guys can do. And if you have your parents' permission to send the picture and you've done a technology agreement, please make sure that you have that first before you send anything. You can email them to me. My email is on the website, or you can DM here on, am I doing it on Instagram? No, I'm doing it on YouTube, but I'm putting this on YouTube, but you can DM me on our Instagram as well. So let's see, have I done everything? 3, yep, 2 eyes, and there's the phone. I think we're done for today. See you later, Roadrunners, and have fun creating. Bye.